From Malicious Compliance. If you have a problem, it better be a 15-minute problem. My husband told me a story yesterday about his act of malicious compliance that happened about a decade ago. In a previous job, he worked 8-4 in an office. Many of his colleagues worked 9 to 5, so they were still working when he was leaving. When he was about to leave, he'd usually be asked a technical question or asked to quickly glance over something by another member of staff. This was rarely quick, and usually had him standing around for a further 10 minutes, which, on a regular basis, starts to add up. One day, his manager was going over the monthly timesheets and asked my husband why he'd added 10 minutes on 5 days across past month. Bear in mind, flexi time was allowed. My husband explained the situation, referring to the specific problems he was asked to deal with on each of those 5 days. The manager told him that the company only works in 15-minute segments, so he can't put down 10 minutes, it would have to be 15 minutes. However, we can't round it up because that's dishonest, he said. So just bear it in mind for next time. This was in front of the rest of the office. That very same week, my husband signs out of his computer at 4 p.m. Just before he leaves, the manager asks him to explain some of the particulars in an email he'd received from a contractor. My husband asks, "How long will it take?" The manager replies, "Just 5 minutes." My husband then says, "Unless it's a 15-minute problem, I'll have to look at it tomorrow. Is it a 15-minute problem?" His manager turns red and awkwardly says it's not. My husband respectfully states that he will put it at the top of his to-do list the following morning and leaves. One of his colleagues texted him just after 5 and said there was an awkward silence after he'd left, and when the manager eventually got up and left to do something, they all burst out laughing. Edit. Some people were asking about wage theft. He eventually had the 15 minutes added back on after the policy revealed that he could round it up if it was a task that took 7.5 minutes or more, and down if it wasn't. The manager seemed genuinely unaware of this when it was raised. He was salaried, so he wasn't concerned about losing income, just about losing flexi time that could have helped him put if something unprecedented happened, like being stuck in traffic one day. I think managers should spend a certain amount of time a week looking over their own policies, or at least find out what they are before making any kind of instruction.